The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at ItalianWinepodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click Support Us at ItalianWinepodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille.
Welcome to the Next Generation with me, your host, Victoria Cece. This is your podcast to learn about all the cool things Italians 30 and under are up to in the food and wine scene. And yes, that includes all the best things to eat. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Next Generation. You're with me today, Victoria, and we are chatting with Carlotta. Ciao, Carlotta.
Hi, hello everyone.
How are you doing today?
So I'm good. I mean, in Verona, the spring is starting because, after there were, I don't know how it's in Rome, but we have a lot of rainfalls during the last week. Now the spring is coming, and so we have a week full of appointments, but we are ready to do it.
Yeah, and a week full of allergies. By the way, I must say.
Full of allergies.
So I give you all the kudos for having a busy week because it's been quite crazy on my side over here in Rome. The allergies have hit and I'm like, it's officially spring.
Yes, and when there is the rain before and then the spring come in in 1 second, it's the worst things for the allergic people.
Absolutely. And if you have to smell and taste wine, everyone has like a million tissues out.
Yes, because there are some drugs that you can take, but then you are a little bit fall asleep, so it's difficult to taste wine in the best way. But life is challenging, so
yeah, it's a little dangerous to mix those drugs with wine for sure.
Yes.
Well, Carlotta, tell us about yourself. So as usual, we always ask this question because it's the next generation. How old are you?
So I'm 35 years old.
Okay.
Yes, I was born in 1989.
Okay, cool. And tell us a bit about what you're up to in the wine industry before I just spoil it all with my notes. I think it's better to hear it from the source.
Well, that my background is a little bit particular because when I finished the high school, I was 18 years old, and I said to my mom, Marilisa, I say, okay, no way I'm going to work with you in a wine business because I want to really do my own things. I didn't want to, to be in the privilege, like in some places, because I was the daughter of my mother. So when I was 19, I moved to Florence and I started to study in the medical school in Florence. So in 2015, I graduated, so in the perfect time, and I'm a medical doctor. So this is my particular, how do you say, background. But I moved to Florence, and my mother started during that year the project of our Tuscany estate. So in Bolgheri we have this beautiful winery that is Poggio al Tesoro, and in Montalcino we have San Polo. And during the university period, I used to go there every weekend, and so I started to be very passionate about that. And I used to go to the vineyards with all the guys that work for us, and I always said to them, I remember we always joke about this because they said that I asked them to not say to my mom that I was going with them in the vineyards, because there is something that it's really, I was getting very involved, and really big passion started to be present in my heart. So in the next years, I managed the two things because I used to work as a doctor, and I was like at the same time like the brand ambassador of our Tuscan estate. So my life in the past year was a pretty mess because I tried to match both things, but I think that helped me a lot. To have a different vision. I think that having different point of view help you to to find your own way.
Wow. So yeah, I did not know you were a medical doctor. That's pretty incredible.
Yes, I'm a medical doctor.
And living these two different lives at the same time.
Yes.
How do you feel your work as a doctor translates into your work with your family's winery?
Something that I strongly believe is that, the medical school give me a very strong approach to study. So I really want to know the scientific part of the things. So for me, studying the medical things or the enological and viticultural thing basically is the same things, because I really want to study in a very, very, deep and scientific way the things. So for me, that is very important, because the medical university gave to me a very, studying method. And I really wanted to have a deep, a deep knowledge of the thing that I'm talking about. This is one of the most important things. And the other one is that I think that now, especially in the future, the wine tasting will be very important, but another key point of the hospitality that we are really wanted to have in our winery is that, having like the holistic approach. We really wanted to offer some extra wine service that our consumers can try when they come to visit our winery. Tasting the wine, but also doing like some mindfulness in the vineyard, something that I really wanted to create space where the people really feel in a best possible way.
Well, that's amazing. And I can imagine how I imagine you're very good at studying, because having to study for being a doctor it requires another kind of discipline, which I see that you're talking about a bit. And so just for the audience to understand, like, what is exactly your role in the winery currently?
So I started, it was after, because I have two children. So after Pietro was born in 2020, so during the COVID, and Marco was born 4 months ago, so it's a very tiny. And
congratulations!
Yes. And when I was pregnant with Marco, the pregnancy was pretty difficult. The Pietro's pregnancy was amazing. This one was pretty difficult. So I really decided to stop a little bit working as a full-time medical doctor, and this allows me to think what I really wanted to do, because the past year was pretty difficult for me, because I try to manage both. I think it's impossible. So I decided to have my cabinet, medical cabinet, when I do because I started also acupuncture and other holistic methods. So I now, talking about the medical part, I'm a little bit more flexible. And so my role in the wine business has always been like the brand ambassador of our Tuscan estate. I'm really focused on our Tuscan estate. So I'm in love with Bolgheri and Montalcino. I think there are two of the most amazing places, not in Italy, but in general, in all over the world. In this time of because my family now are in the past month, reorganized many things in the winery. So yes, I will be the brand ambassador of the Tuscan estate.
Wow. It's just so impressive to listen to you, and also get to talk to you, because it's so amazing that you're a mom, you're a doctor, you're a brand ambassador of a very impressive wine estate, and in different worlds, obviously, and you're balancing them. What's your key? Do you have a secret tip to balancing all of this?
I think, everyone has his own, story. And I think we don't have to do, I'm a perfectionist, but we don't have to be so perfect. I think when we do some mistakes, it's fine. Sometimes we really want to show to the other people that we are, very good at doing this. And I think the life or all of us are sometimes a mess. So I think we really want to, the most important things for me is to be present in the things that we really love. For me, my child are the most important thing. Then I'm in love with our Tuscan estate. To follow, if a person follow the passion that you feel. This is, I think, the key point of everything. And sometimes if you do some mess in your life and your life is not perfect as you imagine, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. I think you can't be too, at the end of the day, not be too hard on yourself. Like understand that you're a human being and that it's great to strive to achieve something, beautiful and fantastic, but it's not going to be linear, right? It's like going to be a little messy and it's never going to be perfect. No, it's very true. I feel like we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves, which can be good to like get us to the next step. But sometimes we can be too hard where we don't see all the great things we're doing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, no,
I
that's true.
agree, because sometimes we really want that our, path is so linear, and then I think that we are a mess sometimes. So the most important thing is to follow your passion and be happy and be kind with the people that work with you and that hang out with you, that they are present in your life. And this is the most important thing for me. I mean, in my opinion.
No, I 100% agree. And I feel like you can feel that with the people you're around. I mean, not everyone's in the greatest place in their life when, all the time, but people who have a satisfaction in what they do and they have that, you can, connect with people and when you have that in your community, it's a very positive environment. And I think another thing, bringing it back to the wine, is that wine is a big element of community and people and bringing people together. It comes up all the time on this podcast, the theme of the table, right? Like everyone coming together and the experience you have around wine, not just what's in the bottle.
Yeah.
And I think it's really special, especially to explore unique places, because something, not to change the subject so quickly, but something that like you made me think about when you're talking about the Tuscan estate. So obviously this podcast is called The Next Generation, and these young wine drinkers throughout the world. I kind of want to talk a bit about Bolgheri and Montalcino in the sense of like, why do you, I guess this is my question, why do you think those areas should be of interest to young wine drinkers, or to young drinkers in general?
First of all, Bolgheri and Montalcino are places where the story of the story of appellation is so strong. So I think that talking about the new generation, the new generation really wanted. I see person who see wine as you mentioned before, as the wine is a way to reconnect with the true things in life. I mean, you taste some wine, but there is much more. I mean, the land, the vineyards, the story of the appellation, the family that produce that wine. So, especially for the Italian, but also the not Italian consumers. I mean, the informal Italian way of being, and in a table, the conviviality and the enthusiasm, the happiness, that's just, in my opinion, the simple things in life can provide. So Bolgheri and Montalcino are like places where the new generation can approach in a very direct way. This so important, talking about the historical part appellation.
Absolutely. And do you find that there is an interest from young wine drinkers in these areas, or do you think that because they are very historic, like you're saying, and sometimes that can be a little bit sometimes intimidating to young wine drinkers, where it's something a little more classic, they don't know, but do you see any kind of movement?
But I think that especially for us, because Poggio al Tesoro and San Polo are pretty well-known brand, but if you pair them with the benchmark in that area, they are much more approachable than other brands to the younger consumers. I mean, for me, for my mother, for our team, we always agree about that. The fact that our, let's say, entry-level wine must be very, very approachable, and even the youngest people can buy them. And this is, is the first business card of your winery. Then maybe sometimes they can try, the top wine, but we really wanted to have wineries that the younger consumers will be not afraid to approach. In Bolgheri and in Montalcino, in the both area, there are, the most important brand, but there are also some new brands, not just new brands, but some brands that are very focused on the be like very approachable to the younger people.
Yeah, of course, the access is a big part of it. Like being able to, for young people to feel like it's not something they have, like a bottle of wine they have to, be at a high end restaurant to have, or to have like at least to open the door and allow them to taste something that is really welcoming. I think that is one of the keys, in the wine industry. When you think of almost like the house wine you get in like a mezzo litro, like of wine or something like that, it's like, even though that's obviously like, sfuso, it's not the best wine, but it's one way of like, opening the door at the table, being like, you can enjoy this. And also, I mean, we don't need to get into how expensive everything's getting, but in this world, I see another thing is like, people, are they investing, like especially young people in wine? I mean, that's a big other topic for another podcast.
Next episode, Victoria, if you want.
Yes, next episode for sure. But you're making me think of all these different things that are going on right now.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local food, and taking in the scenery. Now back to the show.
I always love to ask something food related on my podcast because I love food. It's everyone knows this, but I just had to ask because you told me that you were in Florence and now I'm back in Verona. But do you have a preference? Like, I know this is a very like controversial question, but like, do you prefer cuisine, like Florentine cuisine or Veronese cuisine?
But I mean, I really love the homemade cuisine, so it depends.
Okay.
Sometimes, in Florence, what I see, I mean, in general, as a city where I imagine myself to live is Tuscany. Because, I moved there when I was young, so I have all my connection there. And then the Tuscan way, of being is a little bit, it's much more relaxed than the Verona way. So it's really, much more linked to my personality. So I prefer Tuscan, but maybe this part you can cut it for my family because if not they will be jealous. But talking about food, I think that sometimes in general in Italy there is problem that there are some restaurants where the cuisine is very made for tourists, and so in Tuscany tourists can come there and they really want to bistecca alla fiorentina with red wines. And in general there are different kind of restaurant, different kind of dishes that are made without scheme, how do you say, something that is very we are more flexible. I mean, I am more flexible. If there is a restaurant where you can eat like Italian, I don't know, for example, homemade pasta with some vegetable of the season, you can eat in a good restaurant in Florence or in Verona. So I mean, it's not so separate the things for me.
Absolutely. And I also asked you a very difficult question because your family, like I totally understand because you have like the food you grew up with, the food from home, and that's like one thing. So when you're experiencing a place and you may be living there, but your family isn't necessarily there, or, that's, you're experiencing it outside the home in more eateries and whatnot. So it's kind of hard to make that comparison. So apologies. I do. That is a difficult question, but
family problem.
Yeah, I totally understand. And the beauty of Italy is that there's so many, just wine, food, it's all so diverse. So you can't really lose necessarily.
Mhm.
you know? That's like the thing I love is like you can always find something that
Mm.
you'll enjoy and like whether, that be like
Yes, in different part. I mean, sometimes I really, we always say in Italy that there is no dishes that your mother wants or your grandmother wants. So this is I mean, if there is a restaurant with a very traditional, I mean, in a very well done dish made with love and and simplicity, this is the most beautiful thing, and you can find in Florence, in Bolgheri and Montalcino. And if you want some suggestion, I have this special place in every city where I live.
Oh, I mean, if you want to give away secrets on the podcast, you can, or you could just give them to me and I can be very selfish.
Okay.
But so before we wrap up, I want to ask you a very, very, very important question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite food and wine pairing?
It's a difficult question, but for me, for example, as we mentioned before, for me, let's say the first wine, like the business card wine, and the wine that represent the business card of your wine. So the first approach to the consumer are as much as is important at the top quality wine. So, for example, in this time of the year, I really like our Rosso di Montalcino of San Polo. That is a wine that come from the highest vineyards of São Paulo. It's a wine that exhibits like altitude and elegance, but above all, I feel that this wine represents the certain purity of Sangiovese, and reminds me, like the simple pleasure of drinking a great Sangiovese with meal, with friend, with you. I mean, when you don't have to think about so much about the pairing and the things and the aromas of the wine, and you just take a bottle that and want to drink a bottle that it's very matchable and it's perfect with pairing this wine. Don't think too much about the context. For me, there is no better wine in the world than the Rosso di Montalcino. And for example, the best pairing, in my opinion, for me, Rosso di Montalcino and homemade pasta with the vegetable of the season. For example, now we have peas, so this is the best pairing for me in the world.
Oh, yes. We have a saying in English, you hit the nail on the head, like to say it was perfect, like the fresh pasta of the season.
Yes, this is, the simplicity, I think, is the key. I mean, is talking about the younger consumers, we really wanted to focus our hospitality must be, very flexible and very customized to the person that come to visit us. And for example, a younger consumer, I think that now really wanted the simplicity. I mean, not, good wine and well-made food, and pair the match with them will be like in a very simple way, you create an amazing experience for them.
I agree. Right now, it's just to have good energy, good vibes to say, and like to be kind of welcomed into something exciting, but not, nothing that has these barriers. That's it. Like I agree. The key is simplicity. You don't want to complicate it. And of course there's a lot that goes into an excellent bottle of wine, but that doesn't mean it has to be complicated. And it can be something that's really elegant and beautiful, but also be something very approachable at the same time.
Yes.
And yeah, I agree. And now you make me want some pasta piselli.
No, it's not for me. Yesterday, my mother is a very good chef. So yesterday we had like a homemade pasta with piselli was, amazing. With some pecorino, the best.
Oh,
the best.
yes, it's so good.
You feel that when I eat that kind of food, I really feel that I am in balance, So
Yes,
I don't need dessert. I don't need anything extra that,
I agree. It like hits all the parts of your palate, all that it makes your stomach very happy and you're so satiated. You're just so in peace. I know exactly what you feel, like what you mean. Like for me, I feel that, I mean, it's a little bit out of season now, but in Rome, I love the vignarola, which is, I mean, it's not out of season. It's just, some of the components like artichokes are like, no longer really. But that is like that spring dish that I eat it and I'm just so happy after. Like, I'm like, okay, I can go take a little nap and maybe get back to work.
Yes.
Well, anyways, thank you so much, Carlotta, for taking the time today with your insanely, busy life, beautiful life.
Thanks.
Complimenti.
Grazie mille.
And I'm so happy we had a moment to chat. And yeah, I wish you all the best.
I wish you all the best too. And I wait for you and all the consumers that want to visit us in our estate.
I would love to come visit. I need to go to Bolgheri especially. It's been too long.
Yes, amazing.
Well, I wish you a beautiful day. And to everyone listening, also a beautiful day to you all too. And we will see you next time.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. As always, a big grazie for hanging out with me today. Remember, you can catch me on the Italian Wine Podcast every Sunday and anywhere you can get your pods.